Captain Marcus Chun had seen his fair share of alien species during his 15 years aboard the diplomatic vessel Harmony. The Zephyrians with their crystalline exoskeletons, the gaseous Vortani who communicated through color changes, even the militant Kreks with their 6 arms and perpetual scowls. But nothing had prepared him for the Villani delegation. The 3-member Villani team had boarded the Harmony at the neutral space station Concordia, their elongated forms moving with an unsettling grace. They stood nearly 8 feet tall. There, pale blue skin seeming to shimmer under the ship's artificial lighting. Most striking were their eyes, large, silver orbs that reflected everything around them like mirrors, making it impossible to read their emotions. The lead diplomat introduced herself as Kessara, her voice carrying a melodic quality that reminded Marcus of wind chimes. The other 2, Villain and Offmer, remained silent observers throughout the initial meetings. What troubled Marcus wasn't their appearance or their reserved demeanor. It was something else entirely. During their first formal dinner, Marcus noticed how Kessara flinched whenever anyone spoke directly to her. She would answer questions with clinical precision, but her body language screamed of someone expecting punishment. The other Villani showed similar behavior, though less pronounced. "Tell me about your homeworld," Marcus had asked during the second day, trying to establish rapport. Kessara's response was textbook perfect. Velen Prime orbits a binary star system. Our cities are constructed beneath the surface to protect from radiation fluctuations. Population, 4.7 billion. Primary industries include crystal harvesting and bioatmospheric processing. But her hands trembled as she spoke. Dr. Sarah Kim, the ship's xenopsychologist, pulled Marcus aside after the 3rd day of negotiations. "There's something wrong here, Captain. I've been monitoring their stress indicators, and they're off the charts. These beings are terrified." "Terrified of what? You? I don't think so." Watch Kessara's reaction when the other 2 look at her. It's like she's expecting criticism for every word she speaks. Marcus began paying closer attention. During the 4th day's session, when Kessara was explaining their trade requirements, she misspoke calling their mineral exports crystallized carbon compounds instead of crystalline carbon matrices. The error was insignificant, barely noticeable to human ears, but Veline's sharp intake of breath was audible across the room. Kessara immediately stopped speaking. Her silver eyes darted to Villain, then to the floor. For the next several minutes, she corrected herself repeatedly, apologizing for the fundamental error and requesting forgiveness for her incompetence. That night, Marcus found himself walking the observation deck, staring out at the stars. The weight of realization was settling on him, a suspicion so disturbing he hoped he was wrong. The breakthrough came on the 5th day. During a break in negotiations, Marcus encountered Kessara alone in the corridor. She was studying a holographic display showing Earth's major cities, her expression unreadable behind those mirror-like eyes. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Marcus said softly, not wanting to startle her. Kessara turned, and for a moment, her composed mask slipped. "Beautiful?" she repeated, as if the word was foreign. "Your homeworld must be beautiful too, in its own way." She was quiet for so long that Marcus thought she wouldn't answer. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely a whisper. "We do not. We are not taught to see beauty in ourselves or our works. Beauty is inefficient. Beauty is ... selfish." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "Who taught you that?" "The Collective. The Guidance Council. They have led us for 3,000 cycles, ensuring we remain productive, useful, free from the ... complications of emotional excess." The pieces fell into place with horrifying clarity. The Villani weren't just reserved, they were a people, stripped of their ability to see value in themselves beyond their utility. A civilization that had been systematically taught that worth was measured only in productivity and efficiency. Marcus made a decision that would either destroy the negotiations or change everything. "Kessara," he said, his voice gentle but firm, "I need you to listen to me, and I need you to believe what I'm about to say. those silver eyes fixed on him, waiting. You are brave. Do you understand that? Coming here, representing your people. In an alien environment, speaking languages that aren't your own. Navigating customs you've never encountered, that takes incredible courage. Kessara's breath caught, but Marcus continued. And you are beautiful. Not just physically, though your people have a grace that takes my breath away. You're beautiful in the way you think, in the compassion I've seen you show when you thought. No one was watching, in the care with which you choose your words. You have value that has nothing to do with how useful you are to anyone else. The effect was immediate and devastating. Kessara's composure shattered like glass. Those mirror-like eyes filled with tears that reflected Marcus's own stunned expression back at him. But these weren't silent, dignified tears. They were the broken sobs of a child who had been told they were worthless for so long that a simple affirmation of their worth broke something fundamental inside them. She collapsed to her knees, her tall frame folding in on itself as millennia of suppressed emotion poured out. Marcus knelt beside her, unsure if physical comfort would be welcome, but unwilling to leave her alone in her pain. I don single quotes I cannot quote, she gasped between sobs. We are not we have never been You are, Marcus said firmly. You always have been. Someone just convinced you otherwise. When Villan and Othmar found them 20 minutes later, their own carefully maintained composure cracked at the sight of their leader's breakdown. But instead of the disapproval Marcus expected, he saw something else in their silver eyes: recognition, hope. The negotiations took on a completely different character after that day. The Villani began asking questions they'd never dared ask before. What was it like to create art for its own sake? How did humans find meaning beyond productivity? Was it really possible for an entire civilization to value individual worth? Marcus realized they weren't just negotiating a trade agreement anymore. They were witnessing the birth of a revolution, not one fought with weapons, but with words that a people had never been allowed to hear. Beautiful, Kessara said on their final day together, looking out at the stars. I think I'm beginning to understand what that means. And in her voice, Marcus heard the first notes of a song her people had forgotten how to sing.